pedophile, but all these things gave me clout. Like, and it's sad, weird stuff like that, like lies and all these things. But it didn't matter because it made people listen, and I got the ear of the people, and I was able to deliver the message. And that's what matters. But it's just that it didn't matter to me because everything that's going on in hell, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter if you don't like me. If you guys don't like me, that's a compliment to me. If niggas in hell don't like you and they don't accept you, take that as a compliment. That's another thing. Like, learn how to take a compliment from the universe. Motherfuckers won't accept you at a job. That's a blessing. You can't get the job. Oh, that's a blessing. You know, sometimes you be wishing for shit that's no good for you in the long run, or your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that, yo. Just understand that. You know what I'm saying? Life is chess, not checkers, B. Life is chess, not checkers, B. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just figuring out that a black man invented chess. Love that game. Are you still getting high? I'm born high. You know what I'm saying? I'm a high person. I'm already at a high frequency of thoughts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was already at a high frequency of thoughts. That's why I don't need a lot of marijuana. Like, if I do, I'll take a hit or two. But I'm not like other people. Like, I see people throwing weed back, like smoking, and I'm like, how? I don't even see how they're doing that. I don't even understand. To this moment, they just have no connection to the ether at all. If you could smoke weed like, you don't got no connection to the ether, bro. I take 2 hits. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? I'm going into different goddamn dimensions and shit. I done had a whole spiritual awakening on 2 pulls of weed. And people will say, you know, oh, it's a tolerance thing. Nah, nigga, because that weed don't make me want to go smoke it all the time. I'm not addicted to it. I'm already high, nigga. I actually like, you know what weed feels like to me? Like I've been put underwater. That's what it feels like. I've been put underwater. Everything kind of foggy. Everything's kind of like, but it needs to be foggy sometime for me to stop thinking. You know what I'm saying? So weed is good to relax you and stop thinking and just be. It gets foggy. And there's this feeling as I'm coming down off the high that I don't want to be high no more. I just want to be sober and back to my regular state because I like who I am. I already feel high. Like my mind is already lit. It's just that I'm overbearing. You know what I'm saying? And when I get high, it kind of lightens the mood of what I'm saying. And it kind of like gets to the point in a better way. So I do use it as a medicine and as a instrument that it helps me to better say what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It helps me to say what I'm saying better. You said you hit it once to see the truth of life. Yeah, that shit just changes immediately. I do not need another weed, bro. No, no. I don't. And also the smoke makes me feel dirty. So then there's that. You know what I'm saying? You said shit is scary when you smoke weed? Yeah. It's all divine timing, okay? I'm just glad I be having my mind back after I get high. I'm glad I come back because I don't want to stay high, bro. I used to think I want to be high, and then I hit some weed. I had some kind of weed, and that shit had me running up the block. I hit some weed maybe like a week ago, and that shit just fucked me up to the point. I hit it 2 times, and that shit had me way too high. And I'm sitting here trying to calm myself down. It took me like an hour and a half to 2 hours to literally, nigga, I walked around the block. Sis was holding my hand and everything. And I was just like, nah, man, I was straight. She was like, you good? I'm like, how the fuck you took 5, 6 pulls and she just lamping and chilling? Like, nigga, that shit had me like, nah, see, I'm different. I know I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even the people that just started smoking weed, they don't have, none of the people in my tribe has the response that I have to the weed when we smoke it. It's just weird. You could say it's because I just started, but I don't think it's that, because I just think I'm different. My chemical makeup is different, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you could be angry and the weed does calm you down, bro. Or it gets your attention. But when it hits you hard and you too high, that's not a good feeling to me, bro. And so that was a good lesson because I got too high off of 2 pulls, and goddamn, when walking up the block, sis was holding my hand and shit. I was like, I don't know what the fuck going on with me. I just need to calm down. I think it was some sativa. That bitch had me hype as hell. I was up. And I got a Mars in the 3rd house, so I'm already a nervous energy. So I need weed that just kind of calms me down. But then I don't need it at all anyway. But there is a magic to marijuana. I'll tell you that. It's your anxiety, dog. Whatever state of mind you're in reflects off the weed. Nah, it was the weed. Because I smoked the other weed and I was chill. But I smoked this one weed and it was a different strand and it just wasn't in agreement with my energy. I'm already a nervous person. Like I'm already like antsy. My mind is already overthinking and I'm already at a high frequency of thoughts and they're going through my mind. And the way I look at the universe, you know what I'm saying? The way my thoughts is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I have like, sometimes I have random violent thoughts that just pass by and I'm scared of those thoughts. I don't know why I have random violent thoughts. You know, and I often have thoughts of maybe just losing my mind. Like, am I gonna lose my mind? But what does it mean to lose your mind? How do you lose your mind? And so I'm sitting there, you know, overthinking and shit. So I gotta like, you know what I'm saying, chill out on the weed because the weed just, it really is good for me because it's a sense of me letting go of control. And I'm a control freak. So weed is teaching me how to surrender. And that's what I'm going to because my North Node is in the 12th house. So I have to learn how to let go of control and let go of the idea that I'm in control and realizing that everything is in divine order. That's the craziest thing about becoming a god is becoming self-aware is that it's a control. Because when you're self-aware, you realize that there's something else influencing you and you're aware of it. And it feels like you're not in control. And that's a scary feeling. So to become self-aware and to be aware of existence and be aware of what's going on can be so scary because the very identity of what you are, which is aware, is the very thing that will freak you out when the universe does what it wants to do with you. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be again, you know what I mean? You think you have free will, but you don't. The 4th dimension, astrology is controlling everything. Nature. And that's just the cool part of it all, bro. What's sativa? Oh, sativa, yeah. Sativa, yeah. Yeah, like I feel like I'm afraid to lose my mind, but I don't think that my mind could ever be lost. But I've been in a psychiatric ward before, so I've seen people that you could say have lost their minds, and I'm afraid that might happen to me. So because my mind is so fucking delicate, like, you know what I'm saying? My mind is so like open and like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes like I'm a man, so I have violent thoughts. Men have, I think, am I right? Or do all men have violent thoughts? It's a part of me. There's a part of me that's violent, very violent, but it's scary. I don't even like that part of me. I don't like the part of me that's violent. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I was that way. I had a violent in me. Like, I would be talking to somebody and I think about punching them in their face or just ripping their eye out. You know what I'm saying? But it's a thought, but it never happens. But it's something that goes through my mind. And I'm like, why do I? And I actually turn away from it. The more conscious I became, I turned away from it. But what part of your mind thinks like that? Like, why do we do that? What is that? Does anybody know? Women do too? You know, I have all kind of violent thoughts. Like, sometimes with the people that I love, I'll picture things happening to them and then feel the feelings, and then I'll hug them and be like, nothing's going to happen to you. I love you so much. But I do think of things happening to the people that I love. I think that's part of psychology. Like if my son is around or my child is around, I'll think about bad scenarios that could happen to them, and it'll make me feel extra protective of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just violent thoughts in that way. You know, I think that's normal. I think that's really normal. I think people feel and think that those things, you know what I'm saying? So, but then if they're not normal, then at least I don't act on them, and I don't act on those things. I can't act on them, you know what I'm saying? And just they just pass by. Like scary, eerie thoughts go through my mind now, like what is outside of life? Why is this the only thing that we know? Those are really spooky things. And like this has to come to an end at some point. And, you know, sometimes I know that I'm in hell, and I get that feeling of knowing that I'm stuck here and I'm here and I have to evolve through it. Why can't it just happen? And I'm just like, yo, you have to wait. Being patient makes me anxious, that I have to wait to evolve. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that my mind knows what's going to happen. I have to sit and wait in the moment and be patient. And so my mind, I'm like, yo, why does my mind have to know so much? Maybe I know too much. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, maybe ignorance is bliss in a way, but then ignorance is not bliss. It just appears to be bliss. And that bliss turns into the everlasting hell, because you need good to feel bad. And so the bliss of ignorance is the bliss that actually creates the fucking terror that's coming on the other side of it. So you say that ignorance is bliss, but eventually that bliss turns into hell and torture. So it's like, you don't want that ignorant bliss. You know what I'm saying? And like the knowledge keeps you in a neutral point. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're happy or sad, knowing that everything is temporary. It's just crazy. Yeah, these are the thoughts that that open you up. But some people act on those thoughts, and that's where murders come from. And that's where like these vicious things come from. Some people actually get possessed with those thoughts, and they actually do them. You know what I'm saying? Like when I have violent thoughts, I'll walk away from everybody and just go sit down somewhere with myself. And I will recognize that part of myself, and I try not to judge it now. I try to let those thoughts go by without judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, we got Jaomi in the house. I told everybody that we need to make sure that he be safe on the steps. Like, I keep thinking that he falls down the steps and breaks his neck, or something happens to him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, we need a gate at the steps, because although he's really good at walking up and down these steps, in my mind, I'm like, nah, bro, that shit can't happen. And I play the scenario out in my mind. I'm like, nah, we got to prevent that. Like, so I'm like getting the gate for him immediately. You feel what I'm saying? Because he's really good at walking up and down the steps, but I fell down the steps. And as good as I am as walking up and down the steps, I fell down the steps. So it's like a numbers game. Eventually, it only takes one mistake on those steps, and then it's over. So we have to protect. So shit like that, I think it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, to think like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think about what's going on with my daughter, and I can't think about her. I can't even have those thoughts. I can't have the thoughts of what's going on with my children, because that I block out my mind completely, because I feel like I'm doing a prison bid when it comes to my kids. I feel like my kids were taken away from me for a divine reason. All things are divine, but I can't think about my daughter, because my daughter gives me anxiety, because I'm thinking about protecting her. I'm thinking about teaching her things in this world. I want her to know that she can be ahead of the game. You know what I mean? And I think to myself, like, what the fuck is you about to go do with my daughter? Put her in school? What the fuck is you really about to go do with my daughter, yo? We playing this game, but we make children, but what are we doing with the children that we have? Your children is an opportunity for you to make the world a better place. What are you going to do subjecting my daughter to that world? You know what I'm saying? And I have to let go of control, in a sense, because the universe is in divine order and everything is happening in divine order. So I'm thinking in my head, like, but what the fuck is you about to do with my daughter? You know, she's a human being. And you have we make human beings to make the world either perpetuate the ignorance, or we make human beings to make the world a better place, because human beings make this heaven a hell, and human beings have made this hell. So if that's the case, then why are you being a part of that instead of being a part of the machine that's trying to destroy that that construct or within ourselves, trying to destroy that and have heaven on earth, because we come from a different place. I don't come from here. My soul's not from here. I never fit in. I never had a mom. I never had a dad. I never had any connection to this place that would make me feel connected to it. With Babylon, like I never felt. The only thing I'm connected to is the human person, the human people, and the connection that we all have together. That's the one thing that connects me, is that I'm human. But as far as being raised in society, or being raised like y'all, and being raised with an uncle, or, what's up, sis? You good? Like being raised with an uncle or a sister, or being raised in a family structure that would attach me to the ideologies that would trap y'all to attachments to this place. I never had that, because I'm an angelic being. And that when I was growing up, I always thought that something was wrong with me because I didn't have these things that attached me to the hell realm. But now as I'm wiser and I understand, like, wow, I was never allowed to be attached to this place. I never was allowed to feel that I was attached to it. So I've always walked through this place and understood that I wasn't in place in this place. And I understand why now. You know what I'm saying? I'm so blessed in understanding why in the long run. And I'm like, damn, I was chosen, you know what I'm saying, not to be a part of this shit. And a lot of people don't understand that was raised in foster care, that was raised by somebody else that didn't have that family structure, that you're not from here. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So how can you ever be attached to this if you're not from this? You dig what I'm saying? So you got to realize that. And when we realize that, we can understand. I love the human beings around me. I love the human beings around me because we think alike. We might not express it the same way, but we think alike. And this is my family. And I was given family to people that are the same frequency as me. And so this is the only family I've ever had, really. When I say family, I'm talking about like literally somebody that thinks like you on the same frequency. And then I learned what family was. Family is frequency, right? So a lot of y'all were born into a biological family with people that you thought like at once, but then life experiences changed you, and now you have vibrated to another frequency or a different frequency of yourself, and now you have to let go of that biological idea of having a biological family, and then you have met somebody that is not your biological family but is closer to you because y'all think alike. And this gives you the understanding that family is frequency. Frequency is the thoughts that you have frequently. You create a frequency with the thoughts that you have frequently. It's the frequency of thoughts that you have that align you with people that's having those same frequency of thoughts. For instance, that's what hashtags are. Hashtags let you know how many people are thinking the same thoughts as you on that frequency. So the hashtags or the algorithm of this internet is showing you the algorithm of the psychology of your mind. You understand what I'm saying? So frequency is the thoughts that you have frequency, the things that you're thinking about, the things that you desire, the things that's on your mind. You find other people that are thinking the same thoughts, and these people are your family because they're in the same frequency of thoughts. So family is frequency. You get it? So you gotta let the idea of go of what family is, because this way you could get trapped in that realm because of the sense of the traditions of what family is. And if you're not able to let go of those traditions, then you won't be able to be free. Your soul won't be able to be free because you're obligated by traditions of a family. Well, I'm your cousin, I'm your blood, and and you don't want to let those people down. And because you don't want to let those people down, like Velvet was attached to her biological family, and so when Velvet left, she had this attachment, even though she knew she had the same thoughts as us. We were her frequency family. She went back to her biological family, and what happened? Her dad was snatched from her because he no longer served her. So in the reality of it, it was like you on the wrong path, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you followed your father instead of following your father. I was her father figure. I was the one that's supposed to be like her dad. She was supposed to follow. I was like the father figure that she was supposed to follow after that. But she went with the demons. It was people in the chat that was constantly taunting her. It was her own demons. Like the people in the chat is your subconscious mind. So if you don't know how to fight your subconscious mind, your own energies will work against you. And so she had some demons in her chart, and I used to show her like, look, this is playing out. And the people that are online that are trying to disrespect you and telling you like fuck that and da 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 and all your demons. And I was like showing her everything in her natal chart and everything that was happening. So she knew very well what was going on because I showed her truths that no one can show her. And she seen the patterns of her mind, so she made her decision. But what happened was when she made the decision, she made it impulsively, and that was in her chart, and that locked her out there. But once you make the decision, now you look crazy coming back and forth and back and forth. What happens is when you leave your natural path or your purpose, then you're stuck out there. Now you got to stay out there, and you're proving something to somebody that's not even in real existence, because these people are your subconscious. And now you're suffering, and no one knows you're suffering. And everyone, you go online, you make it seem like you're not suffering, but you're truly suffering, and only me and you know that. Because I know your natal chart. I know your astrological program. And I know it. And you know that I know it. And that's why so many people that touch me can respect me and say like, yo, and it's an issue for them. And I have such a great influence on people because I show them things that are absolute truth. And even when you listen to me, you're going to learn something. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me or not. If you listen to me long enough, you're going to be enlightened on something. Press 1 if you've been enlightened in this very conversation that I had with you, whether it was about the spirit and psychology and the endocrine system, or whether it's been about somebody else. But eventually, if you're around me long enough, you're going to learn something very key that you never knew before about yourself, because I'm going to put it in a way that you're going to learn something. So when I'm dealing with a woman intimately, oh man, she gets everything. She's going to learn everything about herself because I'm dealing with you. And if I'm dealing with you intimately, it's going to be intense because I'm a psychologist and it's psychotherapy with me. My Venus is in the 9th house. My Venus is in Pisces, so you know I have good intention. You can't deny my Venus in Pisces. That lets you know your Venus lets people know your intentions and what you're looking for, right? So with my Venus being in Pisces is exalted, meaning I can love unconditionally. It's no lie. All you got to do is study my natal chart to understand that I'm a very loving person, and I'm not a person. And people don't need to guess about me. They don't need to expose anything about me. If you understand astrology, you would understand I'm the Messiah. Then you would understand it. It's all in my astrology. My Venus is in Pisces, which is exalted, making me have the ability to love someone unconditionally through their flaws. I'm able to unconditionally love somebody through their flaws because my Venus in Pisces. Then my Venus is in the 9th house, which means I'm in love with my students. I fall in love with my students because I'm a philosopher and I'm a teacher. So I love to be with a student. So any woman that be with me, she's going to become my student. So I'm going to be teaching you something. There's going to be a student-teacher relationship in my relationships. I'm not going to be able to fall in love with somebody that knows everything that I know, because my love is attached to the idea of teaching somebody something or philosophizing something to somebody. So it has to be, I can only fall in love with people that want to learn from me. So a woman that wants to learn from me, I fall in love with her easily. If she feels like I'm her teacher, I'm going to fall in love with her. That's my love language. My love language is to actually heal the black woman and her to become my student and make her goddess. So if you look at my natal chart, it's right there. It's not I know who I am because I studied myself well enough to understand things and find hidden secrets and hidden knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And somebody said, she's like, well, you have all this power because you're trying to... No, baby. I have this power to empower others. But I'm not going to give nobody no power without making sure that I'm empowered. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you no shit I ain't got. So he's like, oh, you're doing this for you. Okay. What's wrong with that? If I don't take care of me, there is no me for you. So anyway... first things first, love yourself. Know yourself. This Eye of Horus means to give yourself love and know yourself first. Know thyself. You can't know someone else without... The reason why I know the things that I know, because I know me so well. I'm giving you information because I've applied it to myself. How I found this information is knowing it for myself first, and now I can give it to you. So therefore, I can't give you nothing I ain't got. But the young people don't understand it. They're like, oh, you manipulating. You doing all this to get power and control. Hell yeah. I want power and control, because if I had power and control, I'm going to make this world a better place. If it was left up to me, shit going to be shit going to be righteous, and shit going to be mayat. You understand? So just know that everybody is trying to impose their will upon their universe. Nigga, this is my universe, and I'm imposing my will upon my universe. That's what we're fucking doing here. Duh. Everyone is trying to create their heaven on earth. They're trying to impose their will simultaneously at the same time on the world. You just got to find people that see shit the way you see so you can create a greater force in creating that world on this fucking earth. Don't be mad at me because I'm a powerful entity and I'm able to put out my motherfucking shit the way I'm putting out and receive other people that can empower the mission that we stand for. And I'm calling upon the people that are just like me, and we come together. Don't get mad at me because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You do what you're supposed to do. And I do what I'm supposed to do. And may your knowledge lead you to its wisdom. And that's the thing about it, right? In the end, it doesn't matter what you're talking about or what you're saying. In the end, the only thing that matters is what? The outcome of what the fuck you're talking about. That's it, right? And it's too early for you to understand the outcome of what I'm talking about because the shit I'm talking about is too futuristic. So don't be thinking like, oh, well, your outcome ain't much because I'm still building. It's a daily base. It's a daily thing to build what I'm building, the kingdom of God on earth. And so it's a process, and we are beings, and it ain't gonna just happen right away or overnight. You know what I'm saying? Applied knowledge takes time and energy, but when it's built and it's established, you won't be able to say, "Oh, well, you ain't got nothing to show for what you put in." Yes, I will. But what I will show for is gonna be something that cannot be broken. You understand what I'm saying? So check it out. When it comes to understanding your purpose and who you are in existence and understanding yourself and knowing yourself first, you have to study your personality, which is your astrology, right? My Venus is in the 9th house. So what I know about myself is when it comes to dealing with women, you will always see I'm always teaching my woman. I don't care before I came to become Natureboy, I was always teaching a woman. I didn't even want a woman that couldn't learn from me. I was always teaching a woman because my Venus is in the 9th house of the teacher, of the master teacher. So my Venus is in the 9th house, so I already know that I'm going to be the philosopher and the teacher of my lover. So I already know that. Because I know that, I'm not feeling bad for being that and doing that. I'm not feeling bad that every woman that I meet is my student. Every person I meet is my student because that's how I show my love and that's how I express my love through teaching. So I already know that about myself, so no one can make me feel guilty about that because I'm in. And that's another thing. The more you know yourself, the more you can accept and be convinced in who you are and become into your character. A lot of y'all don't even know your character, and having shaped and formed your character through your astrology and possessed and embodied who the fuck you're supposed to really be. So you mad at people that have established themselves and are convinced about what, and you want to argue with them, but it's no arguing because if you're not bringing no facts to back up what you're talking about, it don't even fucking make no sense. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even make no sense. We have to base ourselves in objective truth. Now, I told you what the absolute truth was. There's a difference between absolute truth and truth. Absolute truth is that you cannot know truth because life is a lie. Period. You cannot know yourself. Who you think you are, you cannot conceptualize it because you're infinite. And you cannot conceptualize infinity, aka nothing, because nothing is nothing and nothing can come from nothing. And something can't come from nothing. So truly, we're living out the great illusion, which is the great Maya, or what we call the great Hadu, which is the illusion of life. Now, there is truth to the illusion. We're only talking about the truth to the illusion, which is astrology. Astrology is the truth to the illusion. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm only telling you about the video game that the video game we're playing, which is a lie, which is an illusion. But because we're in the illusion, we need to understand the game and how it's played, right? So when you understand how the game is played, then you can understand. But first things first, you need absolute truth. Absolute truth is that you cannot be conceptualized. You cannot have knowledge of self. That is and this is what the gods on earth are not going to tell you. The 5% nation is not going to tell you that you cannot be conceptualized. When we say peace, God, the black man is God. What that means is that the black man is the human form of God in its most uprighteous form and has created all higher states already. And we have already did everything that we're trying to achieve again. We fell and we're coming back up. We created all things with our mind. The black man is the mind. He's the knowledge. There's no wisdom on this planet that we haven't uttered already. There's no wisdom on this planet that we haven't already said. We were the establishers of law, of all law, even the underworld. We have established, we taught them how to establish hell. We established hell through white people. We turned white and then made hell. You understand? So you have to understand that the black man is the original man. And what we're saying when we say that we God is when God came in human form, he came as a black man, period. You understand? Black man and woman together is God, meaning the highest form of the humanoid that you can be. But even then, we have to understand that the black man is nothing without his woman. Without his woman, he is not complete, because his woman completes him, because she is the action and the wisdom that brings that knowledge. So having his woman with his mind, all I need as a black man is many women, and then I can bring forth heaven on this earth. If I have a lot of women, then I can bring forth heaven on this earth, because women are the ones, and I need men to protect the woman, and I need men to protect and uphold my law and enforce my law. That's all I need from the men, because the men are there to enforce law. I need men to enforce law, and I need women to color my culture, to color my mind, and bring my mind into fruition. You understand? I need that. I need to create that culture. I need to create that world. I need to create that world on earth. And that's what I'm doing. So it starts with my words and knowing who I am as a black man, and knowing that this mind that I tap into has already been there, that we already established these things, that the white man cannot say that this is his knowledge, or that he took this knowledge when I was the one that put that knowledge there first. And although I am the descendant of my great self, that I still found myself in my mind, and I found that I am who the fuck I am, and I am God, because I was the first humanoid to be on this planet as God. And I know that my melanin allows me to connect to the universe and connect to nature naturally, because my melanin is an antenna. And I'm not talking about the melanin in my skin, which is just an indicator of how much melanin I have in my brain and in my nervous system and in my endocrine system. This skin is an organ like any other organ. And the more melanin you see, the more apparent that there's melanin inside that is being utilized, that allows me to be an antenna, as if you have a SIM card in your cell phone. And melanin plays as a SIM card, which allows you to speak to the universe and communicate to the universe naturally. And if you don't have this melanin, this polymer, this universal polymer that allows you to connect to the ether, to the all, it allows you to realize and feel it, because knowing is feeling. And if you can't feel it, then you can't know it. So when people say you're an emotional being, the more melanin you have, the more emotions you can feel at a deeper frequency. So it allows you to understand things at a deeper frequency, so that you become supreme being. You cannot really truly understand knowledge itself without understanding that melanin is the antenna of the universe. You dig? Everything comes from the sun in this universe, God. You understand? So we must acknowledge the sun and what the sun is. And your melanin is literally carbonated sun. And you are walking suns. Your bones is made from sunlight. That's what they made from. When we look at the bone, what the bone marrow is made from is blood. Where the bone marrow creates blood. But what are the bones made from? Your bones made from calcium. Calcium is converted sunlight. And we have to understand this, that we are walking suns. And literally blood, breath, and bone, liquid, solid, and gas. Our breath is the gas. Our blood is the liquid, and then our bone is the solidification of the solid of that. So we are three part being. We are spirit, we are fluid, and we are solid. So we are 3 parts in one. We have to understand what we hold. We hold most of our body is what? Water. But what creates blood in the body? What creates blood is the bone. The bone creates blood. And then what creates blood? Oxygen. So so it's all connected. You see what I'm saying? So what you have to understand is these are different forms of the sun. The breath you breathe is hydrogen, oxygen. You know what I'm saying? That comes from the sun. Then it's converted into liquid, which is the blood. Then it's turned into a solid. So you have to understand we are manifestation of spirit. We blood, bone, and spirit, which is energy, which is the breath that you breathe. Blood, bone, and breath, the 3 B's. The 3 B's let us know the 3 densities that we are of the sun. We're blood, which is liquid, which is the liquid, the solid, which is the bone, and then we are air, which is the actual evaporation or the evaporation of the sun itself, that we breathe, eat, sleep, shit, sun. And when you understand the sun, when the sun manifested itself into human form, it came into the black man and woman. And that's why we're able to have melanin that protects us from the sun. And people will tell you that the melanin is just there to protect you from the sun, but now we manifested as the sun, and we here as the sun. And we have to understand that melanin is not just some skin complexion. And if you study neuromelanin, it will let you know that it's not just a skin pigment. It is actually a antenna. Let's break it down to what it really is, the simplest form. The melanin is an antenna that allows you to connect to source. It allows you to connect to the ether. It allows you to understand that we are God. So the Christ, Jesus couldn't have been white, because Jesus couldn't tap into the idea that we was all one, because he would need melanin and really be able to tap into the divine. Nah, you can't tap into the divine. You could talk about it. You could talk about things that have already been said. You can discover things that were already there, but we put it there. We spoke those things into existence. We lived at the highest form, and we still do. So when you go to the highest form of understanding and you realize that everything is spirit, everything is spirit, everything is mind. Mind is all is mental. When we realize all is mental, I just showed you what the mind was. Mind is what? Spirit. So that means that we're in a spirit realm right now. It's already spirituality. We already spirits. And if we already spirits, then who the most high on this motherfucking planet? The black man and woman. How the fuck you gonna deny that? That's science. That's mathematics. And you can go look. They're not gonna tell you this because they stuck in their lower self. They're not gonna tell you this. White people are gonna start telling you, or some of them will tell you. But you can't wait for white people to educate you, God. You God. You can't wait for white people to educate you, Indian people to educate you. You the originator. These people kept your knowledge, tainted your knowledge, switched their knowledge to put themselves in it. It's your knowledge, it's your science. Ain't no science that was created by no white man. All of this technology is information that we already held. We just didn't use it the way they're using it. They using it to kill themselves. We ain't doing that. We ain't use this stuff for that. We use this stuff to build pyramids. We use these technologies to create natural energy. We use these technologies to do things that they can't even understand to this day how we did. You understand what I'm saying? We already did this, son. You feel me? And we're going to do it again. You feel me? So what y'all need to understand is that, number one. And now you got to understand that the white man, the devil, is now wrapped in black skin. So you got to understand that everybody black ain't your fucking friend. Most black people asleep, dumb, deaf, and blind, and they don't know who they are. And they melanin activated because they over smoke weed, they over drink, they eating the wrong food, they don't got knowledge of self, they do not seek knowledge of self, they don't have the desire to have knowledge of self, they don't care about these words and frequencies of thoughts that we having, they don't have an idea, and they don't give a fuck about it because they lower frequency entities, but it's all in divine order, God. It's all in divine order, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get back to Natureboy, that was pure stop eating flesh. My nigga, it's not what you put in your mouth, it's what comes out of your mouth. And Jesus said that in the motherfucking book of Thomas, and y'all didn't understand that. It's not, if you eat a lion, the lion becomes you. And in return, you become the lion. It's not what you put in your mouth, it's what comes out of it. We eat fish because the fish come from the what? Primordial waters. What do you think the waters on the earth is? That is the quantum field, nigga. Nigga, the water holds the knowledge, information. All information comes from water, nigga. You gotta eat from the water. It's intelligence in the water. That's why they call fish brain food. But listen, take your share. Eat as you need. Don't be greedy. Take your share. Life feeds life. Whether you eating the fruit or you eating the fish, life feeds life. You understand what I'm saying? Life feeds life. You understand? I eat from that sea because that's the woman. That's the womb. The triple black darkness water. The waters, the primordial waters anew is actually on this planet, nigga. The water is what? It's the most mysterious thing on this planet is how the water stays on the planet. 70% of the water and the creatures in the water. We came out of water. Look at your hand. What the fuck is you talking about? Yo, be easy. I don't eat nothing that ain't organic. If it ain't caught naturally, if it's farmed, I don't eat it. If it's organic and it's holistic, that's what I eat. whatever's holistic, meaning it has no preservative, no hormones, things like that was caught naturally, wild caught shit like that. You feel me? I eat holistically, stuff that doesn't have stuff added to it, additives and things that are producing too much to your hormones and stuff like that. I don't eat that. But you got to understand that your body is 70% water. Your body is 70% water, Aki. You are the ocean. You understand? You are a fish out of water. You got to understand that, Ak. You understand what I'm saying? Like, my favorite foods is shrimp. I love shrimp. I don't know why. I innately do. I like shrimp. I like snapper. I like fish. Fish is my shit. I eat from the sea all day. It's brain food. You feel me? That's what I eat. If you want to know what Jesus ate, I'm telling you right now, I eat fish. Nigga, fuck is wrong with you? I like fish. I like vegetables. I don't really like green vegetables like that. I don't really get into that. I just like eat fruit, eat smoothies, and I innately like fish, and I innately like shrimp, which is one of my favorite foods. I don't know why I do, but I could study deeply. I could tell you why, but everything in moderation. I'm not going to eat too much of it. You know what I'm saying? I eat as I need, as my body tells me. I'm in tune with my body. My body is very intelligent, and I have. First of all, a lot of y'all talk about being in tune with nature, and you ain't even in tune with your own body. My cells and my body have a relationship. I talk to my body, and my body knows what the fuck it wants. I give my body what it wants, but I'm also intelligent enough to know if I'm not hungry, not to eat. If I'm hungry, eat. If something is telling me to eat. But I also know that you could put poison in your body, and your body can start craving what you put in it. So you are the master of your body. So I can make my body crave whatever I want it to crave. But I also know that my body is an actual apparatus that allows my mind to connect to the universe. So it's like my body is the middleman to the universe. So I connect my body to the universe. I connect my body to nature, and then my mind can connect to the source. You understand? So, but if you ain't understanding that whole situation and how that works, because your body is right now, I'm upstairs right now, right? I'm not connected to the earth. Yet I am the earth in a way, right? I am the earth. So I'm walking around with activated DNA talking to y'all. And I'm giving you something that you might get yourself if you go connect to the earth. Might not be put like this, but might be something, the message that you actually coming for, so that you feed yourself something. It's not what you put in, it's what you do with it, son. Word. Because I was in prison and I had to eat dog food. And I still was intelligent. It's not what you put in your body, it's what you... I mean, you don't want to put too many toxins in your body, right? You put toxins in your body, you put toxic in your mind, it's going to start to come out, right? So it's natural that you will put something healthy in your body so that you can ensure that healthy things come out. If you put toxins in your body, when you poop on the ground, you putting toxins in the earth. So we already know we're going to take care of nature. So I take care of nature by being careful of what I put in my body so that I don't hurt the earth, right? But if I put toxins, things that don't belong in my body, because everything is natural, but if I put toxins in my body, then I'm harming the earth when I poop, because my poop is actually for the earth. You know, we have an innate relationship with the plant life in this realm, because the plants eat what? Your poop. And they drink what? Your urine. What do they give you in return? They give you what? They give you fruit. They give you oxygen. You exchange carbon dioxide and exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen with the leaves. So the leaves open up and they let off oxygen. You know what I'm saying? And when you breathe out, they breathe in what you breathe out. So it's an interlocked relationship with the trees and the plant lives that your body has, that has nothing to do with what Babylon telling you to do with your body. You have to understand your body has an innate relationship with nature that needs to be in tune with that and recognize and align with that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's real. So what you gotta understand is this. When you put toxins in your body, you harming the earth. Because really, you ain't supposed to be really using no toilet. You're not supposed to be using no toilet. There's not a creature on this planet that uses a toilet. Toilet is one of the main things that's harming the planet. The toilet. You know what I'm saying? It gives us a way to not look at what we're doing. Because we flush it down the toilet and just wipe ourselves and walk away. But we don't see what that's doing to the planet. And whatever it's doing to the planet is doing to us, right? Because we are the planet. So whatever we're doing to us, it's self-hate. In the long run, it's just self-hate to ourselves. Because, you know what I'm saying, it poisons the earth. And then we try to get fruit. And we can't get food because the food is being eaten because of the poison that's in the earth. And then now we trying to farm, but we can't farm. Why? Because you putting so much poison in, nature comes and eats the crops. Why? Because you poisonous, nigga. It come eat the crops because it looks at you as a disease that's trying to harm itself. So it's trying to take you out. Nature tries to take you out. And we're in this war with nature because of the shit that we do, right? So nature try to take you the fuck out because it realizes you was a virus. You something that ain't supposed to be on the planet. But what do? To sustain our life here? Just like any other organism, we do other things to go around the idea of nature getting rid of the fucking problem, which is us. So we live our life in this hell. We go against the frequencies of nature, and we have civilized it. And we have made this our lives, and we think that this is normal. But it's not. It's not normal to poop in a toilet. You think you got poop on your head from a bird, and you say, oh, the bird pooped on me, it's good luck. Nah, nigga. You wasn't supposed to even be your car wasn't supposed to be there. The road ain't supposed to be there. Nigga, you supposed to be pooping on the ground. Like every other fucking animal in this fucking world. You are a mammal. And first thing first, this is how you know if somebody awake or not. You ask them, do you believe human beings are animals? If they say no, walk away from that man. Walk away from that man. Don't argue. Don't try to convince nobody. Nothing. When a student is ready, the teacher will appear. Stop trying to convince people. Stop arguing with people about shit. As soon as somebody don't believe that they're an animal on this planet, they the devil. Period. If you ask a man, are you a mammal or are you an animal? And he say no, keep it moving, my nigga. Come back when you realize you're an animal. And you're part of the ecosystem. Come back when you realize that. You know what I'm saying? And until then, I can't talk to you. You dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Stop giving your pearls to swine. Stop trying to convince people of what you already know. Fuck them. Lay that knowledge down and that's it. If they don't want to listen, that's on them. Fuck them. You heard? When a student is ready, the teacher will appear. These niggas is hard-headed and it ain't your job to change nobody even if you love them. Let their ass go. You understand? As much as I love my daughter, she was attached to Velvet, I still had to sacrifice that. You understand? Because I realized it was not going to do nothing but hurt myself. I got to let that go, B. You understand what I'm saying? Because she got to learn valuable lessons that I already taught her. She got to go convince herself of stuff she already knew. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what the facade is to you, just know, yo, you was with Chief. That nigga got all the knowledge. How you fucked that up? Damn, shorty. Like, what could I do with you? But fuck you. Can't do nothing to you. Can't do nothing for you, shorty. You out here suffering. You know what I'm saying? Nah, son. You wildin'. But you know what? Out here now, ain't no respect for no order. Ain't no respect for nothing. Every man for theyself out here, right? Right. Meanwhile, the people that's winning is organized as fuck. Look at the military. The devil could organize. God can't organize. Even though God is organizing through the devil, but I'm just saying the higher self has to organize. We have to get ranks. We got to get generals. We got to get captains. We got to get all the same shit. God's army is being built the same way. You understand what I'm saying? All the Hebrew Israelites you see out there, them niggas is lost, yo. Lost, son. They trying to go to war with Babylon. You can't box with God, nigga. Niggas is going against the government. You stupid, nigga. If you going against the government, walk away. If you see somebody like, yo, they against the government, walk away from these niggas, man. These niggas is dumb. I'm trying to tell you, son. These niggas is dumb. And if you fuck with these niggas, then you dumb. Hebrew Israelites is wrong. Incomplete. They have half-truths. 5% nation, wrong. They have half-truths. They're not all the way righteous. You understand? What I'm trying to tell you, if niggas ain't pushing that nature shit, if niggas ain't pushing nature, On some real G shit, on some real live, natural, my aunt law type shit, don't even fuck with them. It's all wrong. If it ain't leading you back to nature, if it ain't leading you back to oneness, in the sense of understanding the relationship, the bond between man, woman, and child, yo, we don't want to talk. Keep it pushing. We ain't got nothing to say. I love myself. So all I got to say to you is to say that I'm going to set this shit here, and y'all niggas can take it, or y'all can leave it. Period. I'm going to just set it there. Let niggas do what they do with it. And one day niggas is going to come to it, and I want y'all niggas, y'all 93 niggas in this fucking chat, 102 people watching, to remember that I was the first one to say the shit I'm saying, yo. Not Bobby Hemmett. None of these niggas is fucking with me, yo. None of them. And respect to them for all the work that they put in. Respect to their life force for them trying and laying the path to even put out thoughts for you to start to accept so that I won't sound crazy. I do want to say that these versions of myself that have taught y'all things that have allowed your mind to accept things that I'm saying so I won't sound crazy. I'm not too far-fetched because of some of these truths, these half-truths you got. And it's some of the stuff that I'm saying, even though I make it easier than a baby can understand it and kids can understand it. But here's the thing, because I'm the messenger, I'm able to articulate it like that. But you got to understand, a lot of these people like the 13th Son and a lot of people like, they share information that aligns you with me. But once you get to me, it's the one-stop shop. You don't need nothing else. That's the drill right there. You feel me? Like, can't none of these niggas fuck with me in that sense. You feel me? Like, once you meet Chief, you don't enter the zone, nigga. This it, nigga. What questions of the universe you need, nigga? We got that. It ain't nothing else you need. You understand? I promise you, in the long run, Muslims gonna run to me. I promise you, in the long run, all of them gonna run to me. They gonna run to you. If you with us, we the source, nigga. We the real source knowledge. These niggas is trying to steal. And you got these people out here trying to live in nature, trying to steal my knowledge from me and not acknowledge me. Yo, fire blaze to them. For the pits of fire of hell blaze to you, not to represent and not to acknowledge the Messiah, homie. The student is not better than the master. It is said in Matthew 10, the student is not better than the master. Even in your text, it is said that. It is enough that you try to be as like the master, but you trying to be better than the master, you will lose your way. All of you that watch me right now, listen to my voice, utilize my knowledge, and don't acknowledge me. It is a very act that you do that is Babylon. Babylon does not acknowledge nature. And you do not acknowledge nature's boy. And that's your problem. And you have to live with the consequences and the karma of that, not I. But it will be no one that can be able to speak my knowledge and not come through me, because I'm the way, the truth, and the light. No one will see the kingdom of heaven lest they come through me. And I'm trying to tell you this. You will not see the kingdom of God unless you come through me. Period. I am the way, the truth, and the light. I know this, and I'm telling you this, that in the future, people will start talking like me. And you're going to say, no, Chief already told us it's going to be false prophets that's going to come. And I'm telling you, there's going to be false prophets that's going to sound like me. They're going to say that they already tapped into this knowledge, but they are not the one anointed. They were not chosen. You did not see them come out of the bush. But you have witnessed me leave this life behind, go into the bush, and get this knowledge innately through my DNA. And I have used the reference of the white man's knowledge, who he has stole from us, which is my knowledge. I have taken it and restructured it so that you can know that it was a black man that invented this knowledge. And the black woman was the expression of this knowledge. When you look at the Ma'at, you will see black people. When you look into Egypt, the people that have established the laws of Ma'at, you will see black people. But even the Egyptians that you see on those walls weren't the original people of that knowledge. Actually, those Egyptians stole the knowledge from the people in the bush. That's stuff you don't know about. Go research it. This is why Egypt fell. Civilization fell because it stole the knowledge. It did not recognize the people from which the knowledge came through. Go do your research. I'm going to start another live.